Hey, this is one of the very early, prototype 2 or 3 Aria Larry Coryell Elector guitars. What's really interesting about this guitar is it's a solid carved wood guitar with a beautiful arch to the solid carved top and back. I'm 71. I've been playing guitar since I was 7 or 8. I started buying a lot of guitars when I was about 20. I've had a lot of guitars come through my ears and hands and eyes, and this is one of the most interesting, probably one of the more interesting 2 or 3 guitars I've ever owned. Made in the 80s in the Matsumoto factory in Japan by top luthiers. You can read the description for a little more information. A little bit of V to the neck, but this thing it's interesting. It sounds a lot like an old Gibson L5 or something. Very simple demo. Not trying to impress anybody here. I just mostly want to show the guitar because I'm not warmed up at all. But it's got, you can hear that tone. It's kind of very interesting archtop tone. Pickup really, this is just unplugged, obviously. Really it's got a great setup on it, really easy to play, and that arch is just incredible. They used really good wood on this guitar, but it's an interesting approach to an archtop guitar. Kind of has the oval hole like an old Gibson Howard Roberts, or actually some of the old L5s and some of the old Gibson archtops use the oval hole. This is really a neat guitar. It's got some beautiful, beautiful patterns on the top, beautiful carved flame maple back, solid, carved wood top. Like I said, I haven't played today. So I don't think this guitar has been played much either. Very interesting, and the pickup kind of reminds me of a parametric EQ. The pickup, you can kind of has a couple different things you can turn, has a couple different ways that you can approach the tone knob. Has almost seems like a bass and a treble, yet I hear some mids. It's got a volume control, and then it's got another control that seems to dial in mids, treble, and bass depending on how you set it. Beautiful flamed, solid flame maple carved back. There's a carved guitar. There's only 2 or 3 of these made from my research. Really interesting sound. And I'm just using a $100 Zoom Q3 with really small cheap mics. Nothing exotic here. But this is really an interesting guitar. I made the comment in my description that whoever buys this is going to have the opposite of buyer's remorse. This is one of these guitars where when you just hold it and play it, the quality just jumps out. And the action is really cozy and low. so easy to get up to these higher notes. The cutaway is really convenient, and the action is just unbelievably beautiful on this very low action. It's got a lot of old Gibson Kind of reminds me of a cross between a great archtop and a great non-archtop, but it's got an awful lot of the archtop magic. I think it's got a little bit more mid-range. I really do think this guitar is a great investment. I work my ass off, guys and gals, to find great guitars, and this is one of the coolest ones I've ever had. Again, I haven't even played today, so I'm not trying to blow anybody away here. Just want you to hear the guitar. Got a guy in Japan that's oozing over this thing, but I really hate to ship it that far. It's got a cool brown case. It looks like an old Gibson case. Really a nice guitar, man. And the arch on this top is just incredible on this thing. This guitar, I'm not overselling. This is really an interesting guitar. I've never had a guitar, and just, you know, it was made by some of the top luthiers in the world. From the information that I got, old wood that was in the ocean, some type of, which I don't understand completely what it is, but I guess it's pretty involved, electromagnetic field technique, treated wood as well. I think it has to do with magnets and crystals and sound, and a lot of thought went into this guitar, and I can see how, you know, it was so expensive to make. I can see why they only made a couple of them. And I've seen a couple videos with Larry Coryell playing this guitar. It might not be this exact one, but might have been one of the other 2 or 3 made. But yeah, this is really, and the pickup just sounds beautiful. Really, really an interesting guitar. It's hard for me not to keep stuff like this, but you know, can't fall in love with my inventory, right? I should be selling tires if I'm doing that, you know. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. It's got the magic of a great archtop. A little different twist on it. Anyway, hell of a box. I'm really going to miss this, and it's been made in the early 80s or so, so it's got some nice age to it. This is a very, very interesting, very special guitar. So I hope somebody can resonate with it. And if you're feeling the urge on this one, and I'm not saying this as a salesman, I'm saying this from over 40 years of buying and selling, I think this is really a good investment too, because it's very, very unique. I love the age binding on it. I love the arch. Headstock is just stunning on this thing too. Really an incredible guitar. It does have some V to the neck, but yeah, this is really, really an interesting guitar. I'm looking forward to playing it and hearing it open up even more. It sounds beautiful right now, but it will sound even better. All right, folks, take care. You can hit me up, text me 714-548-0385 or stevezook7@yahoo.com, or hit me up through Reverb, or again, text 714-548-0385 or stevezook7, the number not spelled out, at yahoo.com. Larry Coryell Elector guitar, just all solid carved wood, beautiful carved to the top, beautiful arch carved to the back. Beautiful flame. Reminds me a lot of an old Gibson L5 or an old Gibson L7 or something. But this is unique. And of course, Larry Coryell played with, John McLaughlin, Al Di Meola, Paco de Lucia, some of the best players in the world. He was the father of fusion. And this guitar came from a similar area where he was from and lived for a while. So it's possible it could have been his. It's very hard to verify that. If so, it's worth 3 or 4 times what I'm asking for. This has got the strings that are coated, so it's going to have even more tone if you get the coated strings off here. They sound pretty sweet though on this, but yeah, you'll have even more tone if you get the... All right, take care.